What is up, everybody? Welcome to another video of the Passion Traveler. So you guys saw my two short videos that I posted yesterday in Chicago. I just wanted to celebrate MGTOW anniversary for me when I did my transformation. The story that I'm about to include, the reason I never talk about it, we never dated, we never met each other. We were so close, and we just everything crumbled in a couple hours. So I'm gonna get to the story, but yeah, I was celebrating Chicago in this beautiful city, skyscrapers and everything. Even though I was like hanging out with a family member, but it's better than nothing. Being alone in that particular city, at least talk to someone. But anyway, I've been having a very difficult July. July was one of the worst months of the year, and work killed me on Friday and Saturday, and I did need a day off, which it's always hard to it's always a very difficult situation to really enjoy your free day, because people are always going to screw up at work and they were taking on you. But anyway, a different story for another time. So I went to celebrate to Chicago. I went to the train station, the Amtrak, because I was like, thanks for this opportunity. It opened up my eyes a lot, and I started to see the reality. First of all, like I always mention, I'm not like the best looking. I'm just like a max, a high tier normie. Oh man, I don't know where to begin, because I don't want to, I don't want people coming after me for saying that I'm racist or anything. But this is it's facts. So I came across, this was like 2 years ago before I started the YouTube channel, and it's not even a day. We just texted if I could be truly honest, our text messages was not even about a day. It was just like couple minutes, if you know what I mean. So once upon a time, 2 years ago, I came across this girl who was of Eastern European. She was Eastern European, born and raised over there. Came to the United States not that long ago. Probably she's been in the U.S. maybe like two or 3 years, I believe. Well, she liked me because what I used to do back in the day, I used to put my abs or anything that looked me more presentable or anything attractive, or someone that can, at the time I was just looking for anything. So when I came across her, I lowered my standards. I kind of became numb to ugliness, and I hate to be rude or mean. It's just this girl, she really was unfair to me. So when I came across her, I don't know, it was just a particular, and don't get me wrong, I've been to Eastern Europe, I've been to the Czech Republic, Ukraine, and parts of the Balkans, but there's beautiful women, absolutely, don't get me wrong, but this was a little bit, I think in her own country, she was probably not that attractive either. Because the times we texted, she has never mentioned any stories about a particular boyfriend. I think she's been struggling all her life, because she was 2 years older than me. The only thing she had, astonishing was her blue eyes, and that was pretty much it. But obviously, and I don't even think if she would have lost some of the weight, she was going to be attractive. Because even when she was skinnier and younger, I think she was a little bit. She was even more unattractive, unfortunately. So she liked my profile. This is a very sad thing. People were out of work that knew about this. They didn't want to make fun of me, but they were telling me one guy literally told me I think you're just pretty much, you want to see you're desperate. You're going after that. And I'm like, well, what's wrong with that? So for me, what makes me attracted to a girl is when they're foreign. It doesn't matter from where. I just like the accent. I don't know. I've always been attracted to foreign women. It doesn't matter if it's Europe, Asia, or whatever. So I gave her a try, and we texted. Heavy accent. She was kind of surprised that I'd been in her home country before, and that's how it all began. We texted a little by little. The only couple of red flags that I was able to caught, because now that I'm fully aware of it, is she kept referencing how she was not used to working long hours, so that she wasn't used to that lifestyle, that it was hard for her to adjust or adapt to this new, American lifestyle. So, little skepticism started to erode from her brain because I was just going through a lot of deceptions where I'm like, is she trying to use me? Like, it sounds like you're looking for someone to take care of you. And second of all, we barely ever texted, and it's like she's like she was already in her 30s. Cause like I said, she was like 2 or 3 years older than me. That's when I found out that at that particular age, I think women start to really like not care for men, or they don't even care if you're attracted or unattracted. All what they want is a little benefit until you're no longer needed. Because her conversations were pretty much boring. I would talk to her, and she would like not let me talk. She would take over the conversation, and there was times where I'm like, yeah, like I'll let you go. Like I think you're busy, because her conversations were not. From all the girls that I came across, I think she. And don't get me wrong. Yes, the accent might have been a little bit of a factor, but I've dated or came across other foreign women that had better conversations. This girl didn't have a conversation. She just talked about weird things like taking a cigarette break, or her always talked about her mom and her parents, and but that was pretty much the conversations. It was just a 2 week meet up and or chit chat in the app. And another red flag was technically which I'm trying to remember exactly what I remember. Yeah, we didn't text frequently, and I know she was busy, but from all the experiences that I remember, know about, is when a girl is more interested or tries to get your attention, she was. They usually try to text you a little bit more, or want a response from you. But it's kind of like, I can see that she was looking for someone to take care of her. And from her photos and everything, she was legit and real. Because my demands or my I forgot my basically. So basically, I'm trying to remember. Sorry guys, but so technically, when we video chat, I asked her, I need to see if you're real. I want you to also be outside. I want to make sure you're not a scammer. Like, I can distinguish between a European and American city, but when she lived in an American city, she was legit from the photos. I don't know if her age was a lot older, because I think she kind of like, the main reason she never liked taking selfies or not like talking to me, I think she was trying to hide her age. I think she was a lot older than what I've expected, because I've noticed one factor that even if it was dark, well, like I could see her. Don't get me wrong. When I mean dark, like, yeah, like she had everything on, legit photos, but she had too much white on. Like I could even spot it, and when it was nighttime. So I'm thinking that she was using a lot of makeup to cover her age, because there was something suspicious about her face that I like. It's like, I think you're a little bit older. I don't even think you're like 33. I think you're like either 35 or 36. But even in one of her photos, she kind of exposed herself. She's look a lot older. Like, I'm like. And the guys at work, when they were like asking me for pictures, they're like, dude, like, because even though like they say that Mexicans can't be like prejudiced or anything, they are. They were like, damn, bro, like, not only you get ugly women from like the local tribes here, but now you're getting like undesirable women from other countries. Like, what's up with that, man? You're like a consolation prize for everybody, like. And even though there was one guy that was kind of like, I know he was kind of like a, no disrespect, he was part of the LGBTQ community. He said, that I was way better looking than her, so like, he couldn't even believe that I was going for that, but they didn't know what I was going through. So one of my recommendations was a video call, live, everything, so I can make sure, because we were gonna meet up in Chicago. So she lives like an hour away in a different state, but it's close to Chicago, and I live in a different state. So her conversations were boring. We barely texted, but she acted like she wanted to get to know me, so that she even planned it. So Uh, when the time came, she said she already had her Amtrak ticket, which she showed me proof that she bought it. But there was one little detail that because she did everything at the last minute. That's something I noticed about her. I can tell she was not I think she was just a girl that, because like I said, she was an access girl too. Like I noticed she sounded I don't even know how to describe it. Like I even noticed her makeup, her way of beauty was kind of like, you can know there was some laziness, like how she dressed, how she did her hair. I'm like, I think you can do better than that. But obviously, you're not going to say that because you don't want to be rude. You want to convince her that you're also interested in her. Like, I looked at her and I was kind of like, man, like, because even in the videos, I was like, do I need, like, is it even worth it? Like, I don't even know if I can be attracted to her. Like, and don't get me wrong, like, they can say, but you're a subhuman ethic, man. So what good does it do? Like, well, she liked my eyes. She liked a lot of things about my features, and the only thing I could say I liked about her was the blue eyes. I think that was about it. Like, not because she was like super hideous, but she had no idea how to make herself look presentable. That's what I can tell you. And a little bit odd too when it came to conversating. Like I said, she never let me talk. And I think she knows she's an access female because she hangs out with a lot of la raza, because she lives in a part where there's a lot of raza. And like I said, she kind of did mention she had no particular opportunities in her home country either. So I think her only options were someone from the Latino, Hispanic community. Not to be racist, but I'm just stating facts. So please do not be soft and by telling me that I'm racist. I'm not. But anyway, so I looked at her. One thing that kind of also made me think about it twice was, I'm going to, before the day she was going to go to the dentist, I think they were going to remove some of the teeth in or some of her, I don't know. I mean, I started to really wait a minute, like, am I really going to travel 2 hours to a city because this girl showed interest in me, which I don't even know if it's interest of, she's attracted to me, or she's just trying to see if I'm like the last consolation prize, because she's desperate. And I don't know anymore. Like, I'm just like, I was not even excited. Something inside told me, like, wake up, dude, wake up, passion driver. You were never like this. You became so defeated. It's time for you to, have some dignity. Stop being a little fuss and just learn to deal with, with being single, being alone. So we came to the day. She bought the ticket. She had no way to go back because she did everything at the last minute. Like, I can tell there was some laziness because, like I said, how she did everything. And I'm not a female, but I just remember my mom was very strict on making sure that we were always presentable, even when we were young, because she said that the way how you dress, the way how you do everything, it kind of gives the vibe that either you're a hardworking person or just a lazy person. But anyway, and she demanded a ride back home, and I'm like, wait a minute, like, we have never met in person. You don't even know who I am. We barely even talk. What makes you think that it's a good idea? Like, yeah, like, I might be a guy that's defeated, a guy that is sad about being single all the damn time. But, I'm not that stupid. And first of all, I'm not that desperate. Even if we were both desperate, first of all, it's not a good idea. I don't even know who you are. I'm 100% sure you're going to probably even, use me for a ride, free drinks, free food, free trip. You're not going to give me any gas money. I'm 100% sure, because you were already complaining that you can barely buy the ticket. And another thing, I never heard of a stranger or a girl, a random girl asking another random stranger, specifically a male, for a ride back home, And here's another thing is, like, even let's say she meant no harm. Maybe it's something things that, there's different cultures. We have different, particular, point of views. But if she gives me like that little bit of, if I was like another guy, and if I would have, like, let's say she convinced me that she's not only giving me trust, but she's also, giving me, she's opening up her arms to her, to her, home or environment, whatever you want to describe it. Sooner or later, she wants to know where I live at. She's probably going to try to make a move, because there's a lot of things about her. Or she can rob me, because that could have been the worst case scenario. Like, go to her particular hometown and get robbed or beat up. I don't know. It was just a weird scenario. So I didn't know what to do at the time. Like, I felt bad, like, canceling, because I thought this was like the last opportunity before I stopped dating. So I talk to everybody, because sometimes, even if you're in that situation, which I'm MGTOW, even now, if you're still like not convinced by MGTOW, you still want to continue dating. If you feel suspicious, trust your gut feeling. But also, if you don't even know what to do, just ask a family member or ask any friends. All the coworkers said don't do it. All the friends that I still had at the time said no. She's going to probably either use you or whatever. And showed it to my father. My father looked at her pictures. He said, it's not worth it. She's unattractive. Not to be like, even my dad said, I'm sorry, son, but this girl that you're going for is like not even worth the time. Unattractive. She gives like a weird vibe. Also, I think she worked in the bar. So she worked in a bar, and that's why my dad said, you don't, because he asked me what does she do for a living. I told her that she does like a morning shift, I believe, as a housekeeper, and then she works at a bar. She's like, you gotta be careful, because maybe she has some tactics again, to use you and play you, because you never know. So I told her, what, I had a pair of pants, and I told myself, what, I'm tired of getting disrespected. I'm tired of always coming at the losing ends. I'm just gonna, I might lose an opportunity, but screw it. I'd rather have dignity. And don't get me wrong, she was real, because I did talk to some of her friends, and and like I said, they were Raza friends, and she was, for Eastern European. But anyway, so I told her, I'm sorry, I can't give you a ride, but if you want, you can cancel the plans. I'll give you your money back. Even then, back in the day, I was still in that particular sim mindset. I'll give you your money back, 'cause I want to still be the good guy. Now I don't do that anymore. I learned my lesson. But anyway, like, I'll give you your money back. Decent thing I can do for you. I can't give you a ride back. It's basically Chicago to my house is almost 2 hours. Your hometown, it's an hour away from Chicago. So I'm gonna be driving in total of basically almost 6 hours, because you bought a ticket very late. You're gonna come afternoon. You're gonna have not enough time to explore the city or get to know each other, because you want to go to the museum. So here's another thing. I understand it might sound romantic, but if you want to get to know a person, you want to talk to them, maybe like go out to eat, go to the park where you have, plenty of time to converse, get to know one another. But, I never noticed, like, I never heard of a guy taking his first date to the museum. She wanted to go to the museum. She wanted to do, like, she had culture, don't get me wrong, but I think she was just looking for a guy so she can use. So I told her, I'm sorry, I can't take your ride. And she was like, are you serious? I canceled all my plans. I got the one-way ticket to Chicago so I can see you, this and that. It was going to be a wonderful date, but I guess not. I'm like, I'm sorry. First of all, I don't know you. It's not a good idea. Because I was truthful. One thing is, I was very truthful. And I did told her, I'm not risking it. I don't even know what type of person you are. And that kind of, frustrated her. And she's like, okay, it would have been a wonderful date, but I guess it turned out not to be like the way you wanted it, so bye. And that's what she did. She cut me off from everything, social media, Facebook, and that's what I was upset and mad. Like, why me? Like, I haven't done anything wrong to deserve this, but not just because you're unattractive or you're just an excess male, but like, this girl was not even attractive. Like, why, do that? But that's when I started to do a lot of digging, because I just could not understand what was going on. So I tried to like make sure. I thought there was something wrong with me, like why was I attracting these particular women. But when I looked up a little by little, like that's when like MGTOW videos came out, and I didn't really put full attention because I thought it was just older men being bitter. The black pill, and I think this is what led me to go MGTOW was like the guys make sense, you know, every because MGTOW is like a worldwide community. There's a lot of men, even from like, and I'm not going to say this is every typical people, but there was a lot of Eastern European men as well that were MGTOW, and I kind of understood what I went through. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. You know, that's the last story that I had to share when it came to like, you know, like about being used or being manipulated. Because obviously, this girl, I know now that I know it, she never had an interest. She didn't really care. She probably liked the pictures. She probably liked that I travel a lot, so she probably saw an opportunity. Well, here's the thing. I think she even mentioned she didn't like to travel. I think she just wanted like to be taken care of. Like I said, her little like she know how to dress, but you can tell she doesn't care. Like she just is more into her. So yesterday I went to Chicago, enjoyed the day. I went to the train tracks just to celebrate the anniversary of the, you know, of the MGTOW and just laugh about it. Like I couldn't believe that I almost. If it wasn't for people stepping up for me or people looking out for me, and this is why I do appreciate the men out there that still try to help men out there as well, because coworker said it's not a good idea. And she's like, if she really liked you, then why would she try to make everything at the last minute? And why would she not text you frequent either? But there you have it, guys. That's the story of the anniversary of the MGTOW. Because this is what like pretty much broke the camel's back. I just got frustrated. Like, why? Like anywhere, like from my own, you know, girls from my own nationality, from American to Eastern European to Caribbean girls, like nothing works out. Like I'm just getting like used. Like I haven't like, but I don't know, man. That's just how the world is. This world is very unpredictable. And be careful out there, man. If you're still in that dating process, and if you feel a little bit skeptical, and if you can't even figure it out, always ask for people's opinions, not women's. Ask for men's opinions. But anyway, that's it for the story, guys. I'm gonna head out. I'm extremely exhausted. You know, I worked straight, you know, almost 18 hours Friday and Saturday, and yesterday even I went to Chicago, did a lot of walking, talked to a lot of the families. I got home around 1, and I had to wake up at 7. So not enough sleep, guys. So you guys take care. Peace out, and see you into the next one.